Have you ever wondered what it would cost to swap your overpriced apartment for a piece of Texas-sized living? Look, in Dallas, where it's a city that has an average salary of nearly $5,000 a month, there's no state income tax, and your dream home might be more affordable than you think. Look, stay with me as I reveal why Dallas's cost of living might be the best kept secret in America. And if you stick to the end of this video, I'm going to do something that no one else on YouTube will even do, and I'm going to show you all my bills for the month. I'm gonna pull out the receipts and show you the real deal and not just some of the lip service like other realtors you've been watching on YouTube. All right, so let's kick things off with some hard numbers. And don't worry, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, right? So according to the latest economic data, Dallas might surprise you with its cost of living, right? So a family of four can expect their monthly cost to be somewhere around $2,200 to $3,000 a month without rent. And a single person's monthly expenses, those will probably run about $1,200 to $1,500, just depending on your lifestyle. But here's where this really gets interesting, right? These numbers actually put Dallas in a sweet spot compared to a lot of other major metros. All right, now let me break it down to what your daily life might cost here. So that morning coffee or cappuccino, that's probably gonna be about $5.40. If you're thinking about heading out to dinner, an inexpensive restaurant meal costs about $20 to $25, while a nice dinner for two at a mid-range restaurant, that's gonna be about $65 to $100 if you start adding in all the alcohol. Listen, these are real numbers from Dallas residents, not just estimates from somebody who's never lived here. So let's switch gears and we're gonna talk about the groceries for a second because we all need to eat. So your basic grocery run in Dallas looks something like this, right? So a gallon of milk is around $3.52, a dozen of eggs is probably like $3.60, fresh bread $3.46, and a pound of chicken is about $5.80. But here's what makes Dallas special, right? Why these prices might seem similar to other major cities. Remember that Texas has no state income tax, right? That means more money stays in your pocket every single paycheck. Now look guys, if this is your first time to the channel, I'm Mark and we help people buy, sell, and relocate right here to the DFW Metroplex. We're your local resource here in Dallas and we give you the key insights and the raw facts. And if you haven't noticed, I'm unbiased, which allows you to make the best decision for you and your family. So if you need our help, guys, feel free to reach out. All of our contact info is down in the description below and pinned to the top of the chat. All right, so while we talking about paychecks, right, let's talk about your salary a little bit because everybody likes them coins. The average monthly net salary in Dallas is approximately $4,800, a little bit give or take, right? And that's gonna be after taxes. This is really crucial because it directly affects how much money you can stretch in this city. Now, when we compare this to living costs, Dallas starts looking pretty attractive, right? Now, I know what you're thinking, what about the housing? Well, let's just hold on a second, guys, because this is where things get really, really interesting. The median rent here is for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center is about $1,700, while if you go outside the city center, it kind of drops to about $14, maybe $12, just depending on the level of grade of apartment that you want. If you're thinking bigger, maybe a 3-bedroom in the city center, that's going to be about $3,600 a month. And then outside of the city center, you're looking at probably about $27, right? Now, for those of you dreaming of home ownership, the numbers tell a very interesting story, right? The median home price here in Dallas is about $400K right now, and that number is rising, right? With mortgage rates averaging about 6.5 for a 30-year fixed rate, many of my clients are finding that owning can still be more affordable than they thought if we're looking at areas that are actually more affordable, right? Listen to me, guys. I have this conversation every single day, right? Frisco, Plano, and all those northern high-demand suburbs are not going to be the most affordable that you see on Instagram, right? They're still all up there in price. You're going to get the bang for your buck on the east side, in the far, far north side, and then some of that southwest side as well. You know, if you want to go way north to like Melissa, Aubrey, and Princeton, then yeah, you'll get a little bit more bang for your buck. But the closer you get to Frisco, the higher the prices go. But look, here's something that you need to understand to know about Dallas real estate in general. It's not just about the purchase price, right? Property taxes in Texas can be higher than what you might be used to. Now, this is offset by the absence of the state income tax. We all talk about that, right? We get it. But what I found is people don't tend to count that into the equation, and it's not something that sticks out as much, right? Listen, you're gonna feel the increase of your monthly mortgage payment a lot more than you'll see the increase in your paycheck week over week. And that's where I'm coming from. It's all about understanding the complete financial picture, and that's exactly what we're going to explore next. All right, now Dallas has a price to income ratio of about 2.93, right? Which is remarkably low for a major metropolitan area, but I really want to break that down in just plain English. Can we do that? It means housing is generally more affordable here relative to the local salaries compared to many other major cities. And it even carries over to the utilities because Texas summers are hot, and you'll be running your AC all day. Listen, a basic utility package, including electricity, heating, cooling, water, and then your garbage for a 1,000 square foot apartment, that's probably gonna run about $250 a month, right? Your internet, you're gonna expect that to be, $70 to $100 for that high speed stuff that I know you guys are all using. And then your mobile phone plan with plenty of data, that's gonna cost you about $75 to $100, just depending if you're the type of person that gets the newest iPhone every cycle and that extra cost on your monthly bill. But remember, these numbers are just the beginning of the story. To really understand if Dallas is worth it, we need to look at what you get for your money. Now, would you believe me if I told you that Dallas ranks incredibly high on the quality of life index as well? And that comes from something that we just can't ignore, and that's gonna be our great climate. You know, for me being from Mississippi, where it's incredibly hot and incredibly humid, I'd say the weather is pretty comparable between these two states outside of the humidity aspect, right? Like today is Super Bowl Sunday, and it was literally 80 degrees yesterday. And right now, it's a cool 53, and it's gonna stay like this probably for the rest of February. And then from March to around early to mid-May, it's gonna be in the 70-degree environment again, where it'll be cooler in the mornings and then in the evenings as well. So what does that even mean for you? It means that you get to enjoy around 235 sunny days per year here. Sure, our summers are hot as hell, but we more than make up for it with our mild winters. Like football season is a really great time around the city. You know, me and my boys, we meet up weekly for our fantasy football games, knock back a few brewskis at a sports bar downtown. You know, I take the family down to Clyde Warren Park on Sundays just for that, family time in the city. We're gonna have concerts, theme parks, and just a lot of things you can really enjoy outside during these cooler months. Listen, I always tell people you need to be real intentional about going and enjoying the weather after that summer heat, guys. Because when it hits, you're not gonna be spending much time outside of your AC. Another crucial factor when choosing where to live is going to be, the healthcare, and Dallas just doesn't disappoint. We're talking about world-class medical facilities and excellent care options. Now, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I had a health scare a few years ago, and I was admitted to Baylor Scott and White for a few days, and the care and attention to detail was top-notch. I don't wanna go into depth about what kind of happened, but let's just say I needed to lay off the energy drinks. But while I was there, they had the modern medical equipment, things I had never seen or even knew existed. The staff was knowledgeable and really had a grasp of how to operate at a high quality of service, right? Which really correlates in the high ratings that they receive from all the patients. So whether you choose, the public or private healthcare, you'll find the state-of-the-art facilities throughout the Metroplex. The major healthcare systems have invested heavily in Dallas, ensuring that you'll have access to that top-tier medical care when you need it. All right, now let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is gonna be the entertainment and the lifestyle options, right? Dallas isn't just a place to work, it's a place to live, play, and grow, right? If you wanna stay active, a monthly fitness club membership averages about $41, which is significantly lower than what you'd pay in a lot of other metros. Now, we do have some of those state-of-the-art gyms that can be upwards of $100 a month, but that's not the norm. Now, if you love movies like I do, you can catch the latest releases for about $9 to $13 a ticket, but hey, don't tell anybody. If you order a ticket online and buy a children's, they don't actually check the stub at the ticket office. Yeah, I know, don't judge me. For my families with children, education is often a top priority when we talk on our Zoom calls. We have an array of public school and private preschools, and those costs usually average around $1,200 per month, while, the international primary schools, they run about $26,000 per year, right? Now, yes, these are significant investments, but they come with access to some of the most innovative and well-resourced educational institutions in this country. You'll definitely be able to find a great district. Just understand, if you're one of my clients that demands academic excellence, those areas tend to cost more, so you can't expect excellence and want to pay only for discount. Those two are mutually exclusive. Now, for my ladies and shopping enthusiasts, you'll definitely appreciate our retail scene, right? We have all kinds of stores, shops, farmers markets, and locals trade swaps. Let me tell you just from personal experience, we have one of the best Facebook marketplaces for anything you're searching for. You can really get some great deals on lightly used items. Just a few months ago, I bought a NordicTrack treadmill equipped with the Bluetooth and LED screen for $750, and this thing costs about almost $3,000 brand new, and it was only a few years old. I also got a Peloton bike a couple months ago for about $400, and it rides smooth as silk. But it's not just about what you can buy, it's about the experiences you can have here as well. Our city offers an incredible mix of cultural attractions, sports venues, and entertainment districts. From the Dallas Museum of Art to the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium, there's always something exciting happening. Now, transportation in Dallas deserves a little bit of special attention, right? Now, for those who do drive, gas prices tend to be lower than the national average here. Now, I have 4 cars. I got the Benz, which I'm a big car guy, so this is just, by far my favorite. I have a Chrysler 300, which belonged to my grandfather, and I used to ride in the back when I was 10 years old. So it's a bit of nostalgia for me, honestly. I've got a 07 Yukon Denali and my handy dandy Prius. So look, I've run the gambit when it comes to filling up your tank, right? The Benz and the Denali are by far the more expensive when it comes to the pump, right? You got to use the premium to fill up their Mercedes, and that usually costs me about $60 to $75 to get a full tank. For the Denali, using regular unleaded gets it usually about the same price, but you're getting more gas, as regular is always cheaper than premium. Now, for the Chrysler, it's usually around $40 to $55 to fill it up, and my handy dandy hybrid is around $20 to $30. So that should give you a good idea of what to expect gas-wise. So I'm super excited to announce we just released our Reload Ready bundle. This is a bundle that gives you our knowledge of the Metroplex, the best areas, best food spots, best schools, and overall what to expect. And lastly, we're going to give you access to our preferred property list. This is when builders have inventory that they need to move. They call and give us first dibs. These are going to be those discounted properties you won't find on Realtor or Zillow.com. So if you want exclusive access, click the link below, become a part of our inner circle where we say less and pay less. Now, back to the video you were watching. All right, so now let's get into our favorite subject. We're going to talk about housing prices and the cost of home ownership, right? So what does that mean in practical terms? It's just cheaper to live here than in other areas, right? Now, Dallas is probably more expensive overall than all the other metros in Texas, except for Austin, probably being that lone exception, right? You're going to get way more bang for your buck in Houston. You'll be well below our median home prices in San Antonio, and Fort Worth has a ton of homes priced in the middle to lower price points. Now, Dallas does have affordability as well in comparison to other states, but the affordability is in areas that are affordable. I keep saying this, so I hope you guys are getting it. Listen, I'm here to be an advocate and let you know the real deal, right? If you want to live anywhere north of I-30, you're most likely going to pay a pretty penny. I really want to stop people from thinking they're going to get a deal in Plano, Frisco, Prosper, or Salina. It just ain't happening. Listen, we aren't exempt from supply and demand, and the demand for those northern areas are at all-time highs. Now, the median home price in Dallas is around $375K right now, which is still affordable for most two-income households, right? And that just means your dream of home ownership might be more achievable here. Now, rent prices here vary depending on the area, but just expect a one-bedroom to range anywhere from $900 to $2,000 a month, depending on the style and the location. You know, if you want all the amenities and perks, those tend to be a little bit more expensive than just your 1980s C-class rental building. Listen, when I first moved to Dallas in 2015, I had a one bedroom for like $899, I think, and now that same unit is probably closer to $1,200. So rent prices are definitely on the rise, and they're going to continue to trend that way as more and more people move into Dallas. Now, the job market in Dallas is really what truly sets it apart from many other cities, right? With an average monthly net salary of about $4,800, residents often find they can maintain a comfortable lifestyle while still saving for their future. You know, our city's economy is remarkably diverse, spanning multiple sectors and creating opportunities for almost every career path. Listen, technology companies, they've established major hubs here, and while our healthcare sector continues to expand with all the cutting-edge research and facilities. Listen, the financial services industry remains robust, and our energy sector continues to evolve with modern technologies. We're also seeing a big boom in corporate headquarters relocating to the area, and our startup scene is thriving, particularly in the areas like artificial intelligence and sustainable energy. But here's the real bottom line, guys. When you look at a complete picture, Dallas offers an impressive package. The cost of living, while not the lowest in the country, is balanced by high salaries, no state income tax, and a quality of life that many find hard to beat. I mean, for those of you considering a move to Dallas, here's my advice. Real deal, raw, let's get real. Think about what matters to you most, right? If you value career opportunities, affordable housing compared to some of these other major cities, and the high quality of life, Dallas just might be a perfect match. You know, my city continues to grow and evolve, offering new opportunities and experiences while maintaining its unique character and charm. The key is really finding the right neighborhood and community that matches your needs and your preferences. Guys, so now what you've all been waiting for, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna break down my yearly bills, my monthly bills, kind of the stuff that you'd be paying on the regular, what that kind of looks like from a day-to-day perspective. So what we're gonna do first, the first one we're gonna go into is going to be the AT&T bill. This is going to be for our internet here at our house. As you can see, guys, our last bill was $120 a month. And that's kind of what we just paid as far as our internet service here at the house. It's relatively fast. I couldn't tell you the megabytes, gigabytes, whatever that is. You can geek out on that type of stuff, but typically it's going to be anywhere from $100 to $150 a month. All right, guys, so now we're going to go over here and look at the gas bill. So we have gas in our homes. Typically with new construction houses, you're going to have a gas bill, right? It's going to be the thing that runs our hot water heater. So our tankless water heater is powered by gas right now. It's electric and gas. So if your electricity goes out, then your gas, you're not going to have any hot water. So last month, it looks like our bill was about $239, right? Oops, didn't want to do that. So it was about $239 for the gas bill. That's typically, it's a little bit high because it was colder, we're in the coldest months right now. It's February it's like 12 degrees outside right now in Texas, kind of crazy. The typical range would probably be about $200 a month. I have a family of 5 guys, so it's me, my wife, and 3 boys. So we're using quite a bit of water. We also do all our Airbnb laundry here as well. So that's part of that gas bill. All right, next we're gonna look at our typical electricity bill. So again, we're in the colder months, so it actually comes down a little bit. It just depends. Like, right, if when it's super cold outside, then maybe not so much because we're using so much heat. In the summertime is when you're really your bill's gonna kind of spike, just because you're gonna be running your AC all day. Now, typically our home is very energy efficient, so it's not that bad, but typically it's gonna be anywhere from $250 to maybe $300 a month, right? Last month we did $274, and I know it was cold, so we had that thing running to keep keep the house warm, because me and my wife both work from home, so it's running all day long. It's like not like nobody's here half the day. You can have it turned off, and then when everybody comes back home, we turn it back on. So as you can see, the energy usage down here, you can kind of see the difference in them, right? And we're only, let's see, January was $985. So again, it's typically about $300, maybe $250, just depending on how many people are in your household. And then a company that we use is Reliant down here. Now with the energy, guys, you can go to the website. It's called The Power to Choose, and you can choose whatever electric company you want to. There is probably like 250. I don't even know. It's kind of crazy to count them. Back home in Mississippi, there's one electric company. Here, you can choose whoever you like, and they have so many different specials and stuff like that. So, all right. So now we're gonna take a look at my wife's car insurance. So we have, let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 cars, right? So my wife's car is paid off, so so I think she still has full coverage on it. We'll probably drop it down to just liability before long, because it's a 2016. It's not, necessarily, the value isn't going to be the same as far as if we were to replace it. We're not going to get the money back out of it, so we're probably going to get this dropped down as well. And then her payment for that was $126 a month for her car insurance. Now she has a very clean record, clean bill as far as any type of accidents or claims or that sort of thing. For me, I pay about, I think it's about $300 for the 4 cars that I have, and then I'd say 2 of them I just have liability, and then I have the Benz and my Prius, and those 2 are probably the most expensive. So it's ranging about $350 for my cars. For her, it's $126. All right, so now we're gonna run into and see what the water bill is looking like from a monthly perspective, right? Again, I have a family of 5 guys, so we are running the water like crazy. Looks like last month our bill was about $222, right? So it's typically, in the lighter months, it's probably $150. In the heavier months, maybe $250. That's kind of where we're laying at. So it's gonna be in between that range. Not too crazy for a family of 5. But if you have less people using less water, it's probably gonna be a lot lower than that. All right, so now we're gonna look at my son's tuition for his daycare, right? So I wanna say it's like $1,200 something a month, right? So that came in to be about $14,000 for the year, maybe a little bit less. I think it's like $1,040 or something like that. But then you also have these secondary fees, right? You have a supply fee, summer activity fee that are both $250 for those, just separate charges, and that comes out to another $500. But tuition over the whole year was $12,480, so it ended up being $1,420, right? $14,020 for my son's tuition and daycare. All right, so now I just want to show you our mortgage statement on our home and kind of let you see an inside look of what that would look like. Now, we bought this home a couple years ago. We got like we had a 4.5% interest rate on this one. And before, right, because my wife just got her 100% disability because she's in the VA. My wife just got her 100% disability as being a disabled veteran. And so we got our property taxes taken away. But I'm going to let you see what our payment is now, but then I'm also going to reference what it used to be, and you can see the difference and how those property taxes make a difference in that payment, right? So on the monthly payment, we are looking at about $27.70 a month, right? Not too bad. It's a $500,000 house, and we bought it. Like I said, we had to put minimal down, so we didn't really have to put any money down. So as you can see, you can tell right here, if you look at the principal, we've owned the house for a couple years now, and we've only paid $15,000 off of it, right? That's not a lot, especially we've owned it almost 3 years now. If you look at the interest that we paid, right? And just let's look at it from a payment breakdown, right? So our principal, the amount that's going toward our principal is $746 out of the $2,700. So $2,000 of that we're not gaining any equity off of that. But again, owning is still better than renting, because over time that number will flip-flop. Typically, your first 7 years of owning a house, that is just how it goes. That's where the lender makes their money back. But definitely when we got those taxes taken off, that changed the game for us, for it. And so now I want to show you what it looks like from the perspective of when the taxes were in there, and you'll be able to see the difference. So as you guys can see, this is the mortgage activity. And if you look at what our payment used to be, $3,400 and $3,485, right? So almost $3,500 a month. And you can see the principal, the interest, and then our escrow is about $919 a month, right? Because our taxes were $8,200 a year, right? And so just getting those taken off, man, it really dropped that payment down, made things a lot simpler and easier for us. Definitely grateful that my wife was able to get that, because that also bumped her pay up, and then it brought our taxes down. That's a win-win in all categories, because I hate taxes. And then lastly, I'm going to show you the tax statement for our rental property that we own. That's an Airbnb, and let you kind of see the difference, right? So from there, well, about $420 left on that property. We bought it for $450 around the same time that we bought this house. The mortgage insurance that was paid was $1,775. And then where are them? Let's look up here. We'll look at our property taxes up here. So my property taxes on this property were actually more than the property taxes on this one that I'm in currently. And this one actually cost more. That one was only $450. This one was $500. That one's located in Dallas, so the tax rate is a little bit higher. But then look at the hazard insurance. That's almost double than the house that this is, because when you purchase an older property, the risk is going to be higher for the insurance company. With newer properties, your premiums will be lower, which is why a lot of our clients choose to do new construction, right? But as you can see, guys, these are going to be some of those expenses that you're going to have. And I just wanted to show you, because nobody else will be transparent and show you these type of things. I'm going to pull the veil back and really let you see what's going on, so you can make the best decisions for you and your family. So guys, if you need more information about moving to Dallas, Texas, if you want it from an expert or pro who understands this realm from every different area around the Metroplex, I've lived in so many that I can help you out. And on top of that, we created more playlists to give you the best info, and you can check those out right there.